What is up, geeks and geekettes? It's another episode of the Countdown to the Geekcast, and this is a momentous occasion because we are finally here. It is the event of a lifetime. It is the Spidey debate. Tobey Maguire Spider-Man versus Tom Holland. We have two Spider-Man fans that have had their friendship broken because they cannot determine.
They were friends?
Yes, at one point.
For many years.
Many years they were. But
and then Homecoming came
I've only
out.
been here, I don't know.
But
Wow.
they can't decide on which Spider-Man is better. So we're here today to give them an opportunity to discuss head-to-head. We have rules in place to make sure that no fights break out, but anything can happen.
But we're not going to decide who wins.
We're not going to decide who wins.
That's up to you guys.
All you guys over there.
Yes.
My name is Steady. With me on this Spidey debate episode is the man, the myth, the legend, JC.
Hey, everybody.
This one's for you.
Yes. I've been looking forward to this. So
Our guest, who just might as well be full-time because he's always here, Eliud.
How y'all doing?
And the guy that brought his lucky Spider-Man underwear, it's Rob.
By underwear, he means shirts.
Oh, I was going to tell you to show us the chones, bro.
Oh, no.
Hello, kitty.
No. Oh, my gosh. Once again, this is going to be a great episode. This is the Spidey debate. If you've been following us for many years, you've heard of us sort of talk of this occasion eventually happening. When we talked Homecoming, when we talked Far From Home, we brought it up again. And now we're finally doing it. Eliud is a huge Tobey Maguire fan. Rob's a big Tom Holland fan. We're going to decide exactly who probably is the greatest Spidey in cinematic history right now. And we're glad you could join us. We're also going to rank all of the Spidey films later on in this show. And then we're also going to get into some major breaking news today. Some major news in regards to the CW's Arrowverse that just broke. And it's blowing up all over the interweb. So we can't wait to talk about that. But first, this is going to be our Spidey debate. We have some rules in place. We're going to go ahead and give it to our contestants. JC, take it away.
All right, here we go.
Oh, I love it.
Yeah,
I love it.
Yeah, this song got a lot of flack too.
I love it, and it's still great.
Nah, dude, flack.
Oh,
Got a
I
lot of
love
shit.
it. Oh, I love
Why
it.
am I playing this? Because before I went to see Far From Home at the Draft House, they were going through the history, and they were making so much fun of this song throughout the history.
That's awesome.
It's all
Yeah.
good, though.
That song got so much airplay. Anyway, we're going to have a Spidey debate. We're going to give these guys a chance to have an opening statement in a moment, 30 seconds each. Then they will debate who had more intelligence, who's a better inventor, superhuman strength, speed, and agility, and, of course, the biggest one, Spidey Sense or Peter Tingle.
Oh, my God.
Which one's bigger? They'll get 2 minutes each, 1 minute rebuttal, and then, this might go off the rails. We give you the time frame, but we don't know how this is going to go.
No.
So, at this point, once it's finally done, like 2 hours later,
Yeah.
we'll let you guys decide who wins. We'll
Yeah.
have a poll out there, listen to the episode, watch the episode, and then
Ready,
you guys
bro?
decide who wins. So,
And it will be what we will decide for you guys, or what you guys will decide is who will win this debate. Not exactly who's the better Spider-Man in your opinion, but we want to know from you who you think came out on top of this debate. Is it going to be Eliud with Tobey Maguire in his ring corner, or is it going to be Tom Holland in this corner and Rob arguing for him? Let's begin.
all right.
Or as Bill Zane would say,
First off, what? Go ahead.
let's get it on.
Let's get it on. First of all, who's younger?
What do you mean?
He is.
He is? All right, call it. Heads or tails?
I'm going to do tails.
Okay. Hey, Siri, flip a coin.
It's heads.
All right.
Ooh.
Rob will go first.
Rob will go
That's right.
first.
She recognized.
Rob, 30 seconds for your opening statement, sir.
Stopwatch.
Starting when?
Starting right now.
No.
All right. Well, first I would like to take a second and thank our generous hosts of this debate.
boring.
Thank you for having
Cheers.
us here.
Thanks the
And,
sponsors. Oh, wait.
No sponsors.
No beer sponsors.
And you know, damn, y'all are killing my time with all
Go
this
ahead, I'll give you
cheers.
extra time.
All right, that's
Tom
what's
Holland.
up.
Thank you.
Totally
Tom
worth
Holland.
it.
Don't need
Totally
Again,
worth it.
Thank you, gentlemen. Eliud, thank you for being here, sir.
Ooh.
I want to take great pleasure
I'll
in
restart
beating
this
your
stuff.
ass in this debate. This debate will cover why Tom Holland is the best Spider-Man over Tobey Maguire, why he is just the better individual overall, and that's That's not coming from a personal perspective, but that's just hearing in the news, in the media, of the kind of person that he is versus where Tobey Maguire is today. Who,
Oh, that's gonna be
I
fun.
don't know.
All right, we're good.
Time.
Okay, time. Let's
And
go.
time.
Eliud, and please don't make this shit political. Go.
All right. Well, first of all, I just want to make something clear. My
He has
favorite
notes.
Spider-Man is Andrew Garfield. All right,
Thank
hands
you.
down, Andrew
I was
Garfield.
gonna say y'all know love.
However, I think that Tom Holland, or I'm sorry, not Tom Holland, Tobey Maguire overall, and Sam Raimi mainly, his movies and his portrayals, his vision, his craftsmanship to Tom Ditko and Steve Ditko, and Stan the Man, that he recreated something that I think has not been able to top till today, and that's including Tom
That's where
Holland.
you're wrong.
And time.
That's where you're
Time.
wrong. That's where you're wrong.
We'll see.
All right. Well, Rob got to the opening statement, so Eliud, you're gonna do the first debate topic. You got 2 minutes debating intelligence and the better inventor. Why Tobey Maguire is better? Your 2 minutes starts right now.
No.
Okay, as far as inventing goes, I mean, obviously we've already seen Tom Holland invent, so I'll give him the down hands down on that. As
This
far
is
as
a weird
inventing.
debate.
The Tobey Maguire, I'm gonna argue mainly as far as I'm gonna say why he's better Spider-Man per se, not necessarily because I do think he is smarter, because he didn't need any Stark tech, he didn't need anything with any of the movies. He relied on his intellect, he relied on his values.
Which wasn't much.
Hey, either way, it still saved the day.
You'll have your moment.
Still had to say it. So
Sir, calm down.
so with all that, everything that he's done in the movies, as far as what Sam Raimi created, he always had the values. All right, and I think
Hashtag
that's
fake news.
So he's gonna interrupt.
Oh, man.
He's gonna interrupt.
Oh, man.
Because I'm gonna interrupt.
Oh,
Okay.
man.
So
We'll switch the mic off, but go ahead.
So look, at the end of the day, so anytime you talk, it's an extra 10 seconds.
Everybody around the
Oh,
horn.
is that right?
So
Is that
anyway,
right?
So look, at
Bold
the end of the
strategy,
day,
Con.
Sam Raimi depicted Spider-Man in the best way he could possible, and I still have not seen anything to top that till this day. All right, with all the values that Tobey Maguire had, the relationships within the characters, that's including Aunt May, that's including Harry Osborn, Mary Jane, all the characters, even J. Jonah Jameson's, everything contributed to what made Spider-Man Spider-Man. And I'm sorry, but I think Tom Holland does not do that at all. All right, and if he does do that, he doesn't do it by himself. He does it with Tony Stark. He does it with some form of help. And I'm not saying that Spider-Man did not have help, but he did not help from other superheroes like that. All right, what made Spider-Man the greatest, I think, is the values that were taught by Uncle Ben, which is not in.
And
Disney
I will explain that.
All right.
Don't worry.
We're good.
All right, we'll go from
All right.
there.
Rob, you got your 2 minutes talking about intelligence. Who's a better inventor? For Tom Holland, ready?
Do I get my rebuttal, or do I get to answer the question for 2 minutes?
Answer the question for 2 minutes.
Yeah,
Go for it.
We'll
Okay.
Stop. Well, hang on. Restart. Okay. Well, answer the question. All right.
All right.
Go.
Okay, so you already established Tom Holland, Peter Parker is the better inventor,
Ooh.
right?
Okay. Yeah.
You agree?
Yeah.
Okay.
Just exaggerate there.
I'm just going to elaborate more on that. And yes, he is exactly the better inventor. Why? So tell me, why does Sam Raimi make a Spider-Man that instead of giving him the ability to make his own webbing, decided to have it just come out of his wrists? Like, where's the logic in that? The strength and the agility, all of that, that's all gonna come because it's like the spider venom or whatever it was that affected Spider-Man. It's affecting his muscle elasticity, right? Which would give him the strength, which would give him the agility. So yes, you're right. You're damn right that Tom Holland is the way better inventor. And Homecoming, while Homecoming didn't really show how he came about to his suit, because he obviously already had it established. You could already know right off the bat he's already a smart motherfucker, right? Smart as hell. What was the other part? Inventor,
intelligence.
intelligence. Dude, just being an inventor already tells you he's obviously an intelligent individual. The dude's the leader of his team, whatever that spelling bee or whatever it was.
Yeah, we don't know.
Dude, What do you mean you don't know?
Spelling
They
bee?
showed it all
Spelling
day.
bee
movie?
No, it wasn't spelling bee. It was
Script spelling bee?
the.
Forgettable.
Spelling bee.
You know what I
Was it
mean.
spelling?
Yeah,
You know what I mean.
It was a math.
I know it's forgettable.
Married to a math teacher. I'm pretty sure it was a math.
Yeah,
forgettable.
mathalon.
The
Yeah.
limit does not exist.
Forgettable.
Point is,
Spelling bee.
the fact that he was able to invent his suit,
Spell
invent his
syphilis.
webbing right off the back, way better than Tobey Maguire. Tobey Maguire had to what? Yeah, study his ass off, right? He had to.
10 seconds.
Dude, I don't even need the last 10 seconds. I think Eliud once he agreed, that's all I needed.
Ooh.
All right.
All right.
Your rebuttal to that, Eliud.
All right. So, if we really want to talk about
Let's
Tom
do it.
Holland
Yeah, go ahead.
inventing,
Go ahead.
All right. He didn't invent the Spider-Man suit.
Yes, he did.
No, he did
Yes,
not.
he did.
No, he
Well,
didn't.
yes, he did.
He invented the
What
web
are you talking
shooters.
about?
He invented web shooters.
And what do you?
He
and
did
what-
not.
Okay,
invent
so
a-
explain
hold
to
on.
me.
Hey,
No.
It's his minute,
no.
it's his minute. It's his minute.
You don't get to rebuttal
Okay.
when I'm rebuttaling.
Okay,
All right.
hang on.
Go.
All
Go.
right,
You got the floor.
This is where
Go.
you shut up and let me
You got
talk.
the floor.
All right. I know I got the floor. So let me just say this. All right. And that's an extra 10 seconds. So
Okay,
by the
fine,
way.
go.
So look, Tom Holland didn't invent anything. All right. All he invented was the web shooters. I'll give him that. Okay, great. Web shooters. But you know what? Andrew Garfield did the same thing. All right. I'm not impressed.
Yeah, but
by
we're
that.
not talking about Andrew Garfield.
Again. Shh. All right. All right. Tom Holland, his whole persona in this whole Disney musical freaking image of Spider-Man is not Spider-Man. It's nothing compared to what Sam Raimi did. All right, you understand? It's not just about intelligence. It's not just about all that. It's about the values of why Tobey and Raimi got it so right. All right, that's what it is. Who cares if he invented anything or not? That doesn't make him the better Spider-Man.
All right.
All right.
Your
So
minute's rebuttal to that.
So here's what you're missing out.
Oh.
And this is why you are not valuing this movie for what it is. When this movie was brought up to Disney to be written, they wanted to write it different from the prior Spider-Mans. Why? Because they had already done it more than two times. They had already done it. They had it, and it didn't work out.
What did they do?
So guess what? They went back and like, hey,
Hold on,
we
hold
want
on,
to
hold on,
rewrite
hold
a
on.
film.
But
We're
what did
gonna
they do?
no,
What
we're
did they
gonna
do?
we're gonna rewrite a film
What did they do?
based off of the Ultimate Spider-Man
What did they do?
comics,
Okay.
which took place in Peter Parker's teenage years. He was
Nice.
15 years old.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hence, Homecoming. Guess what? He's 15
I
years
get
old.
that. I'm not
Aunt
arguing.
May in this
I'm not
comic was
arguing
the
the
same
age.
age.
I'm
But
not
you're
arguing
but you're
the
trying,
age.
but you're not
I'm
valuing the
arguing
movie
the
for what
values.
it is.
There is
You're
no values.
There's
There
no
is no
values
Uncle
because they
Ben.
wanted to
There
go
is
away
no
from
Uncle
that.
Ben.
Why?
Hold up. There
Because
is
they
no
wanted to
values,
focus
though.
on high school aspects and not so much on
And
the
even
whole
then-
Ben
and you know
Parker
what-
shit
and you know what's
because they've
funny
done it
is that
100
Raimi-
times.
Raimi did
It's
it better.
overdone.
Raimi did it
no.
better.
It
Look,
doesn't
I
matter.
will
You
argue-
cannot even
look,
compare that because
yes,
they
I
didn't
can.
even
lost
do
my
it.
point.
Yes, I can.
They didn't
Yes,
even
I
do
can.
it.
Hang on,
yes,
You
I can.
can't. You
Yes, I
can't.
can.
But you
Rob,
can't
I'll
because
tell you
they
right now,
didn't do
Hold
it.
it. Rob, 20 more seconds. Go.
Thank you.
Yeah.
You can't even compare
Oh
that
God.
because they didn't touch base on the Ben Parker aspect. And they wanted to refrain from touching that because they didn't want to make it all depressing
That's
as
not
they have
Spider-Man.
in the past. That's fine. But there's different renditions of
What do you mean
Spider-Man.
that's
Hence,
not-
the Spider-Verse. There's multiple universes.
That's a different
with a different
Spider-Man, though. That's
Spider-Man.
Peter Parker.
Okay, but you can't
All right,
compare.
Hold up. We're good.
Yes, you
That's it
can.
for rebuttals. That's the whole point of this. We're comparing.
There you
Yes,
go.
we're comparing. What do you mean you can't compare?
Not to the point that he's trying to say.
Okay.
Do we give our personal opinions?
So after the first round,
After the first round, it's pretty heated.
really got heated there. Yeah.
heated, yeah.
Almost lost control. Almost went off
did.
the rails.
Yeah.
You know, Eliud had a very
Almost.
interesting strategy telling Rob that he was already right, saying that Tom Holland was a better inventor. Your thoughts on that?
That's just a bold strategy. Steady. We'll see what happens for him.
We'll see how it works out for
yeah.
him.
I don't know if he's going to say he's right the rest of the way.
You know, both contestants came out with a lot of data points, a lot of research and knowledge about the character.
And
This
a
is
lot
going
of
to be
arguing.
interesting.
I think it was a good idea to add beer to this conversation.
I think it made it a lot worse.
All right.
Let's see what happens in round two.
Let's see what happens around two.
All right.
All right. Rob, you're starting this one off. Superhuman strength, speed, and agility. All traits of every Spider-Man, we would think.
But your
So-
thoughts, your thoughts and reasoning on why Tom Holland is better suited in that category than Tobey Maguire.
All right.
Okay.
2
Your
minutes.
time begins now.
Okay. So with this one, I'm not even gonna dog on Tobey Maguire Spider-Man because I think both films very well depicted the strength in both Spider-Man. I think
No.
they both
Trying to pay
10 seconds.
Eliud's-
they both depicted what else? What was it? Fucking
Speed,
speed,
agility.
dude.
That's 2 F-bombs by Rob.
I
That's a little
think
strategy.
I think Tom Holland as Spider-Man showed the speed and the agility way more than Tobey Maguire could, because Tobey Maguire weighed about 200
That's
pounds.
One F-bomb by Eliud.
Tom Holland was chosen to be this Spider-Man, yet he competed
F-bombs with
against
thwap.
like I think 10 other actors trying to get this role. And what put him over the edge was the fact that he had a background in dancing and gymnastics. And guess what? That gave him the upper hand in becoming the better Spider-Man,
going with the
because he was
arts.
able to do most of
fine
his
arts.
own stunts. You can't argue that. Tobey Maguire was probably eating a fucking hot dog while his stand-in was doing all the moves for him.
See if he
Another-
mentions the lip sync.
So
Another
you tell
F-bomb for Rob?
not even to
Oh,
mention
was
the
it?
lip
I
sync.
missed it.
Like
Okay.
who in God's like I can't even fathom the thought of like, oh, let's put in a dancing thing. You want to talk about Disney fucking singing
Brought up the
hour?
dancing.
Let's talk about Sam Raimi's dance scene. I mean, what
Referencing
what was
Spider-Man
that?
3.
He went there.
What was
Yeah.
that? Why? What was the purpose?
Emo Spidey.
Yes.
No, I know that's a tough one.
Dude, just that scene alone makes Sam Raimi's Spider-Man lose credibility all
I
together right
disagree.
there.
I disagree.
Well, then they should have not made Spider-Man 3.
Looks like
That's
Rob gave
debatable.
up some time there,
Give us some time there.
which is fine. Looks like he's very confident in his opening argument for that round. Eliud, your 2 minutes on why Tobey Maguire is a much better Spider-Man in regards to strength, ability, and speed. Your time begins now.
Okay, so I think Tobey Maguire is definitely definitely the
Fat.
winner on this. All right, hey, you could call him fat all you want, dude, but
Pathetic.
during the movies,
Emo?
he was on point. The dude was on point.
Emo.
All right, the train scene where he saved all those people. That alone
Boat
depicts
scene when
that
Spider-Man
that
saved all the people.
alone
Boat
depicts.
scene.
Okay, that's fine. But okay, then why couldn't he defeat Captain America? Don't answer that. All right, it's my time. All right. So he couldn't defeat Captain America, which blows my mind to this day. How is it like like this? This is one of the scenes that really pissed me off, because Captain America has no strength.
We're not talking about
No,
Civil War.
no. We're talking about Tom Holland, and he was in it. So shut your mouth. All right.
Civil War reference.
So with that being said, he couldn't defeat Captain America.
Iron Man told him to hold back.
How did you not? How can he not defeat Captain America? He literally caught the hand of Bucky. All right, but yet could not defeat Captain America. Just one punch. That's all it took. One punch. Couldn't even do it. That blows my mind. All right. As far as strength goes, okay, fine, the boat scene, all right, but that's the only scene I think that really shows the strength under stress. Like I can't. I mean, maybe the concrete scene, but other than that, I mean, there's so many other ways where
Rob taking notes.
Rob's taking notes.
Tobey Maguire
I think he's playing tic-tac-toe with himself over there.
completely outshines Tom Holland, especially on agility. I
like
have not
Hangman
seen
Jason.
I have not seen anything on agility with Tom Holland, and that goes back to Sam Raimi again. Sam Raimi.
How do you-
hold up, Robert? Shut your mouth. So with Sam Raimi, okay, when he depicted Spider-Man flying through the city, all right, that alone shows the agility of Spider-Man right there, of how well he depicted that. Tom Holland looks like a fucking goofball. Can't even do anything right. I don't even know at that time. I guess he didn't have the spider sense, so he couldn't move throughout the city.
Peter
He kept
Tingle.
on fumbling. He kept on mumbling. I could not stand
time-
it.
your time is
It
up.
makes no sense.
Time is up.
Go ahead.
Well said. Well said.
Okay, you
Huge
know what,
strategy
dude?
there.
Let me tell you something.
Go ahead.
Okay,
Let
I'll
me
let
tell you
Robert. I
something,
got
dude.
interesting commentary. Go. 1 minute.
You are still comparing this Spider-Man to your Spider-Man, which your Spider-Man. Let's
amazing
admit.
Spider-Man.
Let's
The real
admit your
The
Spider-Man
real Spider-Man.
was already
The real
established
Spider-Man.
and already
The
well
real Spider-Man.
aware of his own
The real
rules.
Spider-Man.
This Spider-Man was written to show a different side of Spider-Man.
So
He's
it's not
15
the real one.
years old.
So it's not the
He's
real one.
still learning his abilities.
It's not
He's
the-
still trying to come to terms of what he can do. So yeah, he is gonna stumble. He is gonna make mistakes. And guess what? He's human, and humans make mistakes.
Hey, Lou's
So
playing
guess
mind
what?
games.
Okay,
He's
I'm
gonna
horrible at
learn
reading
from those
lips. I can't
mistakes,
understand.
and that's why Far From Home he came back stronger
Something about
and
a
better and faster
pool
and the
party.
better Spider-Man. So I don't know why you're still so like enamored with Tobey Maguire. Like, I don't get it. And that whole Captain America scene, it goes into exactly what I just said. He was still learning his abilities. He didn't want to hurt Captain America. And for all you know, Iron Man told him, "Hey, buddy, I know you can take down buses.
Last
You can
statement right
you
here.
can stop
Something.
vehicles. You can stop planes, but you know what? I don't want you to hurt my boy Cap. So he'll take it easy on him.
Okay.
Very nice, very nice. Do you have a follow up?
Yeah,
I do got a follow. If
right,
he was
1
so
minute, go.
if he was so badass, how come he couldn't defeat the Vulture? All right, if he was so
did.
badass.
He
No,
did.
he did.
He did.
No, he did.
Yes,
Oh,
he did.
boy.
I
did.
just saw it today.
He did.
He
not
did.
defeat
I
the
saw it
Vulture.
3 times
He
this
did
last
not
week.
defeat
He
the
did
Vulture.
defeat the
Rob's
Vulture.
got a lot of
so
time on
badass.
his hands.
If he's so badass, if he's got all this strength,
He
if
stopped
he's,
him.
he didn't even stop.
Yes, he
it.
did.
Oh
Tell
my
me how he
God,
did it.
dude,
Tell me
didn't.
how he did it.
He didn't.
Tell me how.
What do you mean how? He got.
You don't
ass
even
beat.
know? No, he
got his
didn't.
ass beat.
No, he
He
didn't.
got his ass beat.
No, he
Oh
didn't.
my, dude, I will pull it up on you.
Pull it up. Pull it up.
I don't
Let's
got
go.
the time. I don't got the
It-
time.
it
This
sounds
is
like a
my
personal
rebuttal.
problem.
This is my rebuttal.
Well,
I
you're
don't
not
even know why
making a
you're
good
talking.
point.
I don't even know
You're
why
not
you're talking.
making a
I
solid
really don't
point.
even know why you're talking. Why are you talking during my time? Why are you talking during my time? All right.
Oh, my
he didn't even defeat the Vulture. All
Yes,
right?
he did.
Don't- hey,
Yes, he did.
Hey,
The
dude.
mic stand is out.
Hey,
Mike Stan is
Do you
left the
even?
building.
Do you,
Dude,
did you
he
even,
did not
Were
defeat
you
the
even
Vulture.
awake?
Hang on. Hang
Were
on.
you even
Let him
watching
talk.
the
Wasn't
movie?
Let
even
him
a
talk,
fight
Rob.
We
scene.
watched
Rob.
the same movie.
Pathetic was that?
Let him talk. Elliot, do you have more time or no?
Yeah,
You want to speak more?
Yeah, I do want to speak
Okay,
more.
go ahead.
He was
Go ahead.
20 more
interrupting me.
seconds. Go.
All right, so at least Tobey Maguire defeated all his villains. All right, Tom Holland didn't do shit.
Yes, he did.
He couldn't even, dude. He got lucky with the shocker. All right, he got his ass beat with the shocker. Got lucky with that. Don't even get me started with that BS. All right, and he couldn't even defeat the Vulture. Like there wasn't even a fight scene, dude. Like seriously, Tom Holland. You
Once your
want to talk
statement's
about?
in, that's it. Your
If
statement.
you want to talk about strength and agility, all you need is just this train scene in Spider-Man 2. The fight scene with Doc Ock portrays the strength, portrays the agility. All right, that Tom Holland, I have yet to see him where he got his ass beat by Captain America.
What are you talking about, dude? You watch Far
Hey,
From
hey,
Home.
dude.
And Robert, your
whooped
1 minute
Mysterio's
rebuttal.
He already had his
ass
rebuttal. He already had
left
his.
and
Okay.
right.
What's up with the time?
Yeah, what's up with
Why,
time?
why is he still talking?
Now, interesting note on this debate here is that they mentioned the boat scene, but
Yeah,
when you think about it,
definitely. Yeah.
Spidey didn't save the boat. He needed help from Iron Man.
That's a
wondering
good
about
point.
that.
You know, he did do a good job. But
Yeah,
he
90%.
needed
Well, not 100%.
Not
so.
100%.
You know what,
are you,
dude?
Mr.
Let me
Stark?
tell you something about that boat
trying to
scene.
be like
Let
you,
me
Mr.
tell you
Stark.
about that boat
Mr.
scene.
Stark,
Let me tell you something about that boat scene.
I just want to be like you, Mr.
This
Stark.
whole
I'm on a
movie,
boat.
I'm gonna keep harping on this because this is the heart and soul of the
Flippy
movie.
floppies.
Spider-Man is young.
Okay.
He's
No.
still learning his abilities. So you can't hold that against him, bro. Okay, all right. You tell me, day
all right.
one, when you
I think I started.
when
with
you
that
went to
debate.
basic training, you're gonna
so-
tell me you
What?
were a pro and you
Oh,
knew
wait, he brought up his
everything,
military
or did
experience.
you,
You know
make
what?
mistakes?
You know what?
Or did you make mistakes?
Hold up. So let me rebuttal that. So this is why I also have a problem with this.
It's
Okay,
none of my business.
In the
Okay.
beginning, when this whole freaking merge with Disney and Marvel started and all that shit, when they were gonna integrate Spider-Man, what did they say? Spider-Man is already Spider-Man. This is not an origin story. He's already been Spider-Man. He's already done this. Blah 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 blah. And yet we're still seeing him tippy toe.
But it's not an origin story.
Shut the fuck up. I know it's not an origin story. So why are we still learning about his powers? Why? Is he
Because an
still
origin
relying on
story
Iron
focuses
Man?
around Ben Parker and him
No.
getting bit by the spider.
And that's why Toby did it better.
No,
okay,
and that's-
that's why it was done better
Alright.
with Raimi.
they didn't
all right?
need to do it again because it's been done.
Okay, but
It's
yeah, but
overkill.
it's not.
We all
but
get
it's
it.
not
We all
better.
know how he
it's
gets
not.
his
It's still
powers.
not better. It's still not better.
Yes, it is.
Still not
Yes,
better.
it is.
All
And
right.
that-
better.
And that's
Alright.
the end of round 2. And man,
Yes.
things picked up there
They
quite
sure
a bit.
did. They're throwing some blows here.
Some
Current
good
check-
points on both sides.
Very good points on both sides.
Where are we on the F-bomb?
F-bomb list? We got
count?
Rob with 4, Eliud with 3.
It's getting it's a tight race there.
Yeah, we're definitely. If this was a movie, this would be rated R, just because we already broke 1.
Definitely would.
All right.
You know, I feel like Rob might have gotten round 1, Eliud might have gotten round 2, but
think
it's
so.
not for us to determine. You guys at home are going to do that, and now it's probably a really tight race going into the last and final round.
Definitely, this is a heavyweight fight for the ages. So
it
we're
definitely
going
is.
into the last round to see if anyone delivers a knockout punch, or is this going to go to the judges?
We'll find out.
All right. Last round. Tom Holland's Peter Tingle versus Tobey Maguire's Spider-Sense. And
who's starting this one?
Eliud is starting this one.
All
So-
right, I'll definitely start.
Okay,
This is a,
2 minutes
this
starts
is-
now.
Okay, this is a
And go.
no-brainer for me. This is Tobey Maguire totally nails this. He's got his spider sense. Plain and simple, he's got his spider sense. We just saw just a peak of the spider sense in Tom Holland. Okay, but I think that there was
Peter
the
Tingle?
reason why there. Okay, the Peter Tingle. there was a
Disney
big backlash because a lot of people were like, dude, what happened in Homecoming? Like, where's the spider sense at? Where is and technically, and if you look at Civil War, he did have a spider sense. He had some kind of a spider sense when he was fighting Bucky. All right, so you can't. So the inconsistency that Disney is doing is completely disrespectful to the character. All right, that's why I can't respect that. I can't respect what they did. I get it. For Far From Home, they did kind of do something with it. Okay, they finally established it. They finally said something about it. But if you even look at Civil War, when Iron Man throws him, I think like a pencil or some shit like that, he catches it without looking. So that already established, like, okay, so he has a spider sense, but now he doesn't. But then he does. But now he doesn't. All right, that's the BS inconsistency that I have.
Sounds like
with
WWE
Disney.
booking there.
That's the there were at least with Tobey Maguire, it was again Raimi. All right, the madman genius that he was. He already knew all that. He understood Spider-Man. He had a love for Spider-Man. He established Spider-Man, all right, and he at least was consistent. I get it, Spider-Man 3 wasn't the greatest, but he at least stayed consistent with the lore, all right, at least with his abilities, all right. Where with Tom Holland, it's always back and forth. One day he's strong, one day he's not. One day he's got a spider sense, one day he doesn't. You know, it's a really annoying. I mean, hey, you can have the rest of the time, man. Like, I'd love to hear your rebuttal. Go ahead.
All right.
All right, give him some extra time to.
I don't even need the 2 minutes.
All right.
Ooh,
Here
all
we go.
right.
Where it starts.
Confident start. Confident
Now,
start.
Go ahead.
You don't even understand the writing because you clearly weren't paying attention to the movie.
Shots fired. Shots fired.
You're right. It's not really spelled out until Far From Home, but he clearly had it in Civil War. He also had it in Infinity War when he was in the bus and all that, and the Space Invaders came in. Guess what? Spidey sense went off, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Gator Tingle.
In Far From Home, the reason why you're thinking it was inconsistent is because it wasn't not inconsistent. It was just that he was under a lot of stress and pressure. What happened in Spider-Man 2? Please tell me in Spider-Man 2, what happened to his spider sense? Did he have it or did he lose it because of all the fucking stress?
Ooh, shots fired.
Oh yeah, he lost.
Okay.
For a second. Yeah.
Okay. So that's exactly what they said in Far From Home.
No, they didn't.
Yes, they did.
He
If
lost
you
it-
go back,
he lost
if
it
you
in
go back,
stress?
yes, that's why he was talking about. I need this vacation. I need to get away. I just want to stop being Spider-Man for a little bit. He was under stress, so yeah, he couldn't. He like the spider sense wasn't working.
Get the fuck.
You're gonna tell me.
Another F-bomb. We're even on
You're
F-bombs
gonna
now.
tell
Oh
me
my
that he
God.
didn't have it. He clearly
my
had it.
God, dude.
He clearly had it.
Oh my god.
How are you gonna? Why are you gonna react this way when you know Spider-Man 2 set a precedent? He's gonna lose it because of stress levels.
I'm ready to rebuttal this.
Oh, you're ready?
Wait, if you're
Okay.
done with your
Yeah,
time,
let
just
him
took on
let
more
him
time.
take it. He's
All
gonna
right.
need it.
And now to Eliud for his first rebuttal.
1 minute starts right now.
Okay, so if we're gonna talk about the spider sense part, we got to talk about all of his powers then. All right, so
But
hold
we-
up,
no,
hey, Robert,
no,
shut
no,
the fuck
no.
up,
Top
shut the
four
fuck
is
up,
spider
shut the fuck up,
sense.
shut
Wait,
the fuck up, Robert. So
He's taking the lead on
So
F-bombs.
in part 2, okay, when he loses the spider sense, he lost everything. He lost the web shooter, him losing the web. He lost the strength. He lost the vision.
Poor
all right,
writing.
so the entire
Yeah.
no, it wasn't poor writing.
Yeah, it was
He didn't
poor
want to be
writing.
okay.
Hold on,
You
hold
can
on.
argue that, but either way, he lost everything. All right, so you're telling me that now in Tom Holland Spider-Man, he only loses some powers because he still had the strength. He still had the agility.
Sure.
But now
He needed it.
Oh, okay, dude. Well, that's lazy writing to me.
No.
All right, because now you're just playing picky on what powers he should have and should not have, depending
No.
on the circumstances
No.
and the situation.
No.
That makes no sense.
No.
That's inconsistency right
No,
there.
it's not.
That's lazy writing.
No, it's not.
That's my rebuttal.
You tell
Okay.
me. Okay, so
And
ahead,
now
Rob,
for
go
Rob's
ahead.
rebuttal.
let me
1 minute,
put
go.
let me put
And
this
go.
example out there. When a mother sees their child in danger, don't you think she's gonna somehow summon this undetermined strength out of nowhere to
He's
protect her
referencing
child?
adrenaline.
Adrenaline.
There you go.
Thank you, commentator.
You're welcome.
When Spider-Man is
They can
already
hear me.
in Italy and Mysterio's already doing his thing, yeah, he may not have his spider sense because of the pressure, but guess what? He sees shit going down, so he's gonna call upon his strength. I don't even think he's like thinking about it.
gonna
It's just like
call
it's like
upon his
instinct.
strength.
It's just instinct. It
gonna
happens. Oh my
Kazam!
god!
Shazam!
So here we go.
I'm calling
So
on my
here we
strength.
go.
So he
Dude,
Shazam.
it's not something you do knowingly. It's like a subconscious thing, dude. Are you kidding me right now? Are you?
He's gonna gonna call upon his strength. Hey,
We got a
look,
DC reference now.
It was
I'm
like
in a
Ultimate
bad
Warrior.
mood.
I just imagine it right there.
Look,
going,
I'm in a stressful situation, so I'm gonna.
No, it was nothing like that, dude. Wait,
Sam!
I'm talking about at a subconscious level. He like jumped into action. He sprung into action because he knew he was needed. So unknowingly, yeah, his strength came in because he needed it.
All right.
Hey, I can stick through walls and I got strength. I can help. Get the fuck out of here, dude.
He was
Otherwise.
freaking
Oh,
out, dude. He's 50.
Hey, but
He's 16.
I can help.
You're gonna tell
I
me at
can help.
16 if you were in that situation,
Hey,
you're not gonna be shitting your pants?
I can help.
Yeah?
I can help.
Yeah, it sounds
though.
like you are right now. It sounds like you're
All
shitting your pants right now.
All right.
Ted, you got some underwear for this guy?
It's my house. We probably do somewhere.
Or some diapers. You just had a baby.
We
All
have
right.
some, we have some
There you
diapers.
go.
We have a lot of diapers in the house right
An
now.
interesting debate. It's hard to see who got round 3, but
Round 3 might be a toss-up in my.
I'm
my
calling a
opinion.
small. Or do we have any more topics? You guys think of any topics that we haven't talked about that you
Well,
would want to reference?
We will have a final round conclusion. I haven't.
You haven't
talked
done
about.
yet?
So,
Okay.
just
Do you want to do a closing statement?
Homecoming
no,
made
closing
more money.
statement, yeah.
Okay. Here's what we'll do real quick then. So we're going to give you guys each a 1-minute closing statement. Uninterrupted. So we're since Rob, you started with the opening statement. Eliud, you can give your closing statement first for a minute. Rob, you have to shut your mic off because you can't say anything. And here we go. 1 minute starts. He's not going to listen, right?
Ooh.
Now.
Okay, so I think Sam Raimi did it best. All right, I think that Spider-Man 1 is not only a great Spider-Man movie, but I think it's probably arguably the best origin movie of all superhero movies. All right, the way Sam Raimi created the origin of Spider-Man in probably in about 30 minutes, and then not only that, it was a simple plot, created these complex characters to where at that time you didn't even need like a post-credit scene. All right, throughout the movie, you already had the already part 2 already set up. All right, and obviously it did very well. Spider-Man. So Sam Raimi, this is a quote that Sam Raimi said. He said, he introduced Spider-Man to the world and
15
manages to
seconds
tell a story about people and establishes 4 central characters that were not only 4 central characters, but also memorable characters that not only push the limits of its time, but still 100% Spider-Man. That's the most important thing here, is that it was Spider-Man. All right.
Finish your thought real quick. Your
All
time's
right.
up.
So just a final quote from Mr. Sam Raimi. Kids come to see this picture and Spider-Man. And Spider-Man is their hero. You don't get that earned. It's unfair, but it's true. So you have an obligation to bring the character to the level of worthy of their admiration. And I think Sam Raimi did that perfectly.
All right.
Very nice closing statement. And now we
Rob.
go over to Rob.
Eliud, turn your mic off.
It's cute.
Rob, we'll give you a minute and a half because that's about how long Eliud took. So,
All right.
all right, ready? Go.
Giving
Okay.
you 10 seconds.
You spoke a lot about Sam Raimi versus Spider-Man. I guess you're trying to hide something. But similarly, John Watts did pretty amazing with Homecoming. I think it was very ballsy of him to take a different approach than what the prior Spider-Man movies did. He was very clear when he made his pitch to Disney and Marvel about what he wanted to do, saying, hey, I want to take this to a different direction. It's been done, the whole Ben Parker story, everybody knows about it. Let's do something different. Let's start a different story from a comic that, maybe not a lot of people are very familiar with, but it's one that I remember starting to read kind of like in the mid-2000s. It wasn't a bad comic. It was different, but it was still Spider-Man. Like the basis of who Spider-Man was is still the same. He still shows the same values that Ben Parker tried to instill in him. That's never changed, not whatsoever. So you can wipe that dumb smug look on your face. Secondly, this movie did $880 million worldwide. You're gonna that already topped Spider-Man 1. Like the dollar amount reflects what people wanted to see, and guess what? They wanted to see this film. And
5 seconds.
in my opinion, it surpassed expectations.
All right.
Elliot, you can turn your mic back on. You can turn yours on too. Okay.
And that
Wow.
was the conclusion. That was the closing statement.
When
for,
you
for
had this
both.
idea, did you expect it to go like that?
You know what? I'm surprised that both of these men came as prepared as they did. I
Dude,
thought they were
some
just going to
serious
walk
shit,
in
man.
and
Yeah.
just wing it the whole night, but
Yeah.
they came ready to fight. They came out with fire. This was like a rap battle, but only Spidey
It
topics.
was. This is 8 Mile 2, the Spidey thing.
That's what it was.
Yeah.
That's exactly what it was.
Great job, guys.
Yeah, well
Congratulate
done.
y'all. Y'all made some good
Hells
points.
yeah.
Now, and if you have any ideas for topics that maybe we didn't cover, something that these guys might have missed, but they covered a lot between the F-bombs as well. If you guys have any topics that you think should be covered.
Fuck and buck, by the way.
Oh, right. Now we're tied. Okay.
And it's a tie game.
Anyway, if you guys have any topics that you want these guys to debate, we'll maybe have like a follow-up when we do crown the winner of this or something like that down the line. So.
And also give us your own comments.
Yes.
Are you a Tom Holland fan? Are you a Tobey Maguire fan? Are you an Andrew Garfield fan? And none of this matters anyways. Go ahead and let us know in the comments below. And also let us know your own rankings of all the Spidey films. And it's a great segue because that's what we're getting into next.
All right.
So what we did is we wanted to find out exactly how each one of us ranked the Spider-Man films. And you at home, if you're listening or you're watching this video episode, go ahead and let us know what you think from all the Sam Raimi's, the Amazing Spider-Man films, the Tom Holland films, and also include the Into the Spider-Verse film. Let us know how you rank them from best number 1 to worst number 8. We'll go down the line here, and we went across the board here to see exactly what we thought of all the films. We have an overall total, so let us know what you think, how this matches up compared to what you guys think at home. But first, we will start with Eliud, who, if you want to just stop me and just discuss any one of these, go ahead. But at the top of your list, you put Sam Raimi's Spider-Man 2. Yeah?
Yes.
Still the best one of all time, in your opinion.
Yes, absolutely.
Following that one is The Amazing Spider-Man 2, featuring Andrew Garfield.
Absolutely.
With the Lizard King. Great film, great film. The Death of Gwen Stacy. I don't know if did you like that part a lot?
I love that part. I thought that was perfect.
Very well done.
You're
That's
a big,
very well done.
you're a big Spider-Man fan, so you brought a tear to your eye?
Actually, a little
Seeing
bit,
that,
yeah,
seeing
a
that,
little bit,
because
yeah.
you read in the comics, and then you get to see it come to fruition, right?
Well, yes, but it wasn't just that. I think also the depiction of Andrew Garfield and Emma Stone, like they had such a good chemistry in the movie where you actually cared about that. Like, I mean, it wasn't just it's Gwen Stacy and Peter Parker. No, like I mean, they really built their chemistry together, and it made it even more of an impacting moment when all that happened.
What did you guys think? Because I don't recall in the comics if Gwen knew that he was Spider-Man. What did y'all think about that in the Amazing Spider-Man movies? Because they kind of established that very early on.
So no, she did not know, and I think it was a different twist. I mean, it didn't ruin it for me or anything like that, but but definitely it made her death even more of an impact, and
more heartbreaking.
Yeah, and so I gotta just add this real quick with all that. I think one of the biggest things that I believe Andrew Garfield Spider-Man and Tobey Maguire Spider-Man did was consequences. All right, you really saw that, and I think that's a big characteristic of what Sam Raimi and the Andrew Garfield series really did well, was that no matter all the positive things that Spider-Man did, there was always a negative thing with Peter Parker. All right, which I mean we've yet to see that with Tom Holland, but that's another story.
There's still plenty of time. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, I'm still waiting, dude. Third movie.
Right, go ahead with it later.
Third movie
Don't
already.
worry about it, dude. It's coming.
All right.
Finishing out his list.
With
Spider-Man
patience comes good things.
The original Spider-Man comes in number 4 for Eliud. Amazing Spider-Man 1, number 5. Far From Home, number 6. Spider-Man 3, number 7. A lot of you guys were wondering where that was coming up.
Yep.
And the bottom of your list, Tom Holland's first outing not his first outing, but his first solo film as Spider-Man, and that's Homecoming at number 8. Your thoughts on that?
Like I said, at least Spider-Man 3 was a bad Spider-Man film. Homecoming, it's not even a Spider-Man film. It's a fucking joke.
Strong words. Robert's list. Robert has a list that starts out similar. Spider-Man 2 ranks at the very top of your list.
Yeah, so let me address that really fast.
Oh.
Sure.
Because I'm pretty sure a lot of people are wondering, why would Spider-Man 2 be on my top of my list?
Yeah, let's
if
talk
I'm
about that.
defending
Yeah.
Homecoming?
Here we go.
Kinda,
Okay.
Yeah,
real
let's
quick,
talk
go
about that.
Okay.
How
It's
is-
very simple.
I'd love to hear it.
It's very simple. So when these Spider-Man films were announced that they were going to be coming out, naturally I was super excited. Right?
Weren't we all?
Big Spider-Man fan. First real Spider-Man films I was going to actually be able to see. Not just cartoon, but live action.
Right.
Right? So the reason why this is at the top of my list is yes, amazing fight scene on the train, amazing save by Spider-Man on the train, right? So it's more of a personal attachment to that film and seeing like, holy crap, like this is something that you would typically only see in a cartoon. How they managed to do it on film is amazing. So I did rank it up that high.
So
For a pure-
hold up. So Homecoming should be your second, right?
It's not though.
Here we go. Go ahead. What's Rob's number 2?
But
Number
I'm not. But
two.
I'm not saying. No, but I'm not saying. I am not saying
Go
that
ahead.
Tobey
Hey,
Maguire is
hey,
better.
Ted, go ahead
I'm
and read
still
it.
saying Tom
Go ahead,
Holland
Ted, read
was
it off.
better. Had they casted Tom
Go ahead,
Holland back
go
in
ahead.
those days,
Go ahead and read
it
it off.
probably would have been
Go ahead and read it off.
record breaking.
Go ahead and read it off.
So number 2 on Rob's list is the original Spider-Man.
Yes, and let me say
Spider-Man
why. Let me say why. Because it was the first Spider-Man on film that I got to see.
Okay.
It was my first favorite superhero I got to see in live action film. Sure.
Spider-Verse
Hey.
is number 3.
Well, other films have come out though, dude.
Don't
Amazing
worry
Spider-Man.
about it.
Okay, keep
Don't
going.
worry
Keep
about
going.
it. It's more of like,
Why
holy
aren't
crap.
they better,
Right.
Rob?
Because
Far
it's
From
like
Home
it
is number
reminds
5.
me. It reminds me of
Number
my
6 is
childhood
Amazing
growing up
Spider-Man
watching-
2.
I don't
Number
think anybody
7.
heard that. Go back to number 3. Jesus.
Oh man,
Number
Into
3.
the Spider-Verse, number 3 on Rob's list,
Mhm.
high up there, just like Eliud, number 3. Amazing Spider-Man 1 is number 4. Number 5 is Far From Home.
What?
Okay.
Number 6 is Amazing Spider-Man 2. Homecoming is number 7.
So when this
In
list
the
was
bottom-
written,
3, number 8.
In the bottom is
Homecoming is number
8.
7.
so let me say something. This list was made
What the fuck?
before I watched Homecoming like multiple times, and I texted y'all. I was like, hey,
Oh.
I just watched it multiple times and have like a newfound respect for it.
Okay.
Well, I'm not going to change it, but what would you say it is now?
So I would probably put it. Number 3 was Spider-Verse. What
Yeah.
was number 4?
4 was Amazing Spider-Man 1.
I would put it at number 4.
Ooh.
Wow.
Not even the top 3.
What's up, dude?
Not even
It's top 5. It's top 5. Don't worry about it.
Not even the top 3.
Don't worry about
I
it.
love it.
Whose
Hey,
rankings do
that
you want
just
next,
proves my
yours
point
or
right
mine?
there,
No,
dude.
it doesn't
It
prove
does,
anything
it
because
does.
the reason why
Yes.
the first 2 are up there are for pure nostalgia reasons.
Okay.
Not that Tobey Maguire's
How old
better.
were you when those movies came out? Do you remember?
See, I think
Just
they released in
born, just born.
2001 maybe?
2?
2002. and
2002,
Spider-Man
so
2
I
came
was
out.
probably about 12, 13, somewhere around
Okay.
there.
I can understand.
I want to say about 13, and then we saw Spider-Man 2 when we worked at AMC, so we weren't that.
Okay, well
we
we're
weren't that young,
we're still
Robert.
young. It's still
We're not that
nostalgia,
young, dude.
but it's still a nostalgic
We
The
weren't-
funny
feeling.
part is I
weren't-
worked at
we
It's
Hebrew
still
Oaks,
a
but
nostalgic
I'm older than
feeling
them, but I
when
worked
we
at
watch
Hebrew
it.
Oaks too.
Oh my
And
God.
I was there during Spider-Man 2, so yeah.
I was there during Titanic.
I was there as well.
And if you can recall how big Titanic was, every showing sold out. So
Yeah.
I was an
Massive.
Oscar. And
Y-
I was a
this-
concessionist. It was a pain in the ass.
I don't know if they know this about you, so this is Hode 24 alumni over here.
Really?
Yeah, I was there.
Like OG crew.
Literally, like within
Wow.
the first year that it opened, and I remember they came to our school and advertised if you're looking for a job, and it was right down the road.
Oh wow.
I went and applied. I thought I was going to be an usher, and they moved me to concessionist. I was a concessionist, and then Titanic came out,
Oh.
and we had
And then he
like
quit.
the biggest screens. It's like I swear to God, every showing from the time it released to when the Academy Awards sold out,
Yeah.
and concessions was nuts.
When did it come out? December.
December '97.
And I heard that it was the #1 movie until April.
Yes, when the Academy
Holy-
Awards hit.
Yeah, yeah.
And so, you know, if you remember those 2 big screen, Theater 11 and Theater 14, those were always packed.
They still exist.
Yes, they were always packed with people for Titanic.
Shit.
One thing I will recall, though, is that when we were there, they showed the original Top Gun there on those screens, and like there was a bunch of people packed to see that on the big screen.
Wow.
And I had
Oh,
to
yeah.
work that too. That was pretty awesome. So,
For those of you who have no idea what we're talking about, we all worked at the time, the grandest movie theater in our hometown.
AMC Hebrew Oaks 24.
But then, you know, competition came into play, so now it's falling.
Palladium.
It's fallen down the line,
I
but
think Regal owns it now, right? And they turned
Yeah.
half of it into
They
a
sure did.
altitude park.
Yeah.
so it's no longer in existence, but it's still a theater. Just
Good times.
So many
Free
memories.
movies.
Good times.
Yeah.
Free
Yes.
hot dogs
Sure.
and popcorn and
It was $1 hot dogs, $1 nachos for employees. I remember that.
oh yeah,
Yep.
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 Mhm.
yeah, memories.
Man.
And free pretzels when they weren't looking.
And that's why they went out of
That's
business.
where they
Okay.
went. I was wondering where those pretzels went. I mean, to be fair, no one has ever had cinnamon pretzels like that before.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
no,
true.
they were the
That's
bomb.
true.
They were the bomb.
You got a point, yeah.
Oh my gosh, I just remember that right now.
Things I could eat before I was diagnosed with Crohn's. Anyway, Your
Back to
next?
rankings.
Yes.
My rankings next. I ranked Spider-Man 1 as number 1 on my list.
Really?
Just because of its nostalgia. I thought it just encapsulated the character very well. Great adventure film. Spider-Verse number 2, and not far, by the way. Into the Spider-Verse, I feel, was just a completely strong film by itself. And I love the story, and it engaged the audience. Spider-Man 2 is number 3 on my list. Far From Home is number 4 on my list. Amazing Spider-Man 1 is 5. Amazing Spider-Man 2 is 6. Homecoming is 7. If you listen to our review, you know exactly how I feel about that. And, of course, Spider-Man 3 is number 8 because it's Spider-Man 3.
Okay.
Let me just say this: the costume in here sucked ass.
Hold on.
Hang on. Ooh.
I might.
You got something to say?
I'm gonna defend that costume in a second. Right
You
now.
got something to say?
Hold on.
Was it revolutionary? Yes.
This costume. You're
Was it
telling me
revolutionary?
is
yes.
worse
It was
but it was
revolutionary.
bad.
than
But it was bad.
Homecomings?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, hold on.
Yeah.
Hold on.
Are you sure?
What the
Yes.
fuck?
Okay,
Yes.
to be fair, he's had like 3/4 of a beer. I don't know if he's speaking in his right mind right
I don't
now.
need,
On
that should
stream.
already take his credibility out
How
right
many did
there.
he have
The
before
fact
he
that
got
the
here?
fact that like all the webbing around his costume was like raised looked stupid. Like, wow.
Hey,
okay, that's-
shut his fucking mic
All
off
right.
right now, dude. Shut
Okay.
his fucking mic off
I'll
right
go ahead and
now.
go through my
Oh
rankings.
my god.
man.
I'll
All
go
right.
through mine. I have
Is
it
there
written
a
down.
problem?
JC's list.
Yeah.
JC's
So
list.
I actually finally saw Into the Spider-Verse. Thank you, Netflix. And my wife and I got to see it. And interestingly enough, my 5-year-old and my 2-year-old saw it before we did because they showed it at daycare. So
Nice.
my daughter was super excited to see this again, and my son, 2 years old, was all into the movie. Oh
Yeah.
my God, Spider-Man! Loved it. It is number 1 on my list. Number 2 is Spider-Man 2. And now the train fight scene is great, but my favorite Spidey fight scene cinematic is actually in Amazing Spider-Man 2, the Electro fight.
Oh yeah,
I love that fight.
was
That is
amazing.
just amazing. So, Amazing Spider-Man 2 is
it's
3 for
not
me.
the fight with Bone Crusher.
Bonesaw.
Bonesaw.
Bonesaw is ready.
He wasn't Spider-Man yet, bro.
Anyway, Far From Home 4, Amazing Spider-Man 1, 5, and Spider-Man Close number 6. I was debating those two. Homecoming 7, Spider-Man 3, 8. Now,
Spider-Man 1's number 6.
yeah, then it was between Amazing Spider-Man and that one. So,
let me ask you,
Hold on.
why is Spider-Man so far down the list?
I'm looking at just like overall. I know there's a nostalgia thing there, but this was really close. I mean, I'm having to rank these. Honestly, they're really close, 1 through 6, and then 7 and 8 are just far behind. It was really hard for me to rank it, but honestly, I thought Far From Home did a great job showing a little more mature in that Spider-Verse movie. I'll call it that Spider-Verse instead of, universe. It showed a more mature Peter Parker, how much he's grown from Homecoming, how he had to deal with Infinity War Endgame, and how he had to take up the mantle as the new, I guess, head of Stark Industries, if you will. Amazing Spider-Man 2, Andrew Garfield, I think, is the best Spider-Man cinematically. I think we can all agree with that.
I agree with that.
Why is Spider-Man 1 down there? I'm not saying it's a bad movie. I really did enjoy it. But I think a lot of the stuff, I think Green Goblin could have looked a little better. I think the joke in the Weird Al song is he's wearing that mask, but he's scarier without it on. I thought that was always a fun thing to say about Green Goblin. I think that was great. But it did establish the Harry thing. So just little things, some of the slow motion stuff. I didn't like it too much in 1, but they got rid of that in 2, and it was so much better with the Doc Ock fight.
Do you think William Dafoe made that movie?
No.
Definitely no. Well, yes and no.
Yeah.
He did. He had to have a great villain and a guy sinister, a guy that can play that part. I think he did that.
He was a great villain, but
He's always a
I
great
don't
villain.
think he made the movie.
And the way he haunted Harry in 3 and 2 and 3 was good.
Are we still talking Spider-Man 1?
Yeah, we
Yeah.
are.
It's just, I think Spider-Man 1 ranks so high for me, and I know you haven't finished your list yet.
Yeah, it's fine.
Is because even before Parker puts on his actual suit and starts doing heroic things, I was so into the story.
Oh yeah.
I was so into him getting bullied. I was so into him like waking up with his powers, breaking stuff in around the house.
That's
He's
cool.
like, at school, he's dragging the tray from the cafeteria like through the hallway. He
I did enjoy
he
when
gets
he's
stuck in the door.
trying to launch his web. He's like, Shazam, go web, go. I got a kick out of the horns. Hook him.
Flash Thompson takes a swing at him, and he's like looking at it like, what the fuck this guy doing?
Yeah,
Why is he
that
moving so
was great.
slow?
That was
Classics.
All
Yeah.
these things are
Classic.
just
I'm not
so
arguing that was a
interesting.
bad movie.
Well,
Now,
obviously not.
as
I'm
far
just
as the
saying,
suit-
Tom
Up on your
Holland
list.
was better
As
than
far
Tobey Maguire.
as far as the suit, my mom had never. I mean, my parents never heard of this stuff. She saw that and was like, that looks freaking awesome. Here's the thing I'll say on the debate about thing. Tobey Maguire, Peter Parker made that suit himself. Tom Holland didn't make his suit. Stark made his suit for him.
he made his first edition suit.
Okay, which was warm-ups. I
Okay, but he
let's
made
go
them,
with
right?
that, okay?
And
I'm
he
just
made
throwing
his
that
own
out
web
there.
shooters.
So
He
the
didn't have to
suit
shoot the web
Yeah,
out.
for the time,
like
that suit
Tobey
was
warm ups and
revolutionary.
a spray paint on a
Tobey
spider
Maguire
suit.
Dude,
is a
at
great
least he didn't have to
tailor.
shoot the web out of his
Yes,
ass like
yes.
Tobey Maguire did.
And he
Hey,
did that in
dude.
secret. Aunt May didn't find out.
Yeah.
So, by the way, in Spider-Verse, how was it that Aunt May was like the central base for the entire Spider-Verse?
That was badass.
that
right?
was awesome.
It was
So,
amazing.
Yeah. Now, Spider-Man 3, I have it last, and my biggest thing is that a lot of it is that Sam Raimi, surprisingly, I think he said this before, wasn't really a fan of the Venom character. Didn't think he could do it on screen, and to my honestly, didn't really want to do it. And that's like the biggest, arguably the most iconic Spider-Man villain, and he did it completely wrong.
Mhm.
I half expected you see Venom most of the movie. We only got him for maybe like 10, 15 minutes of the film.
Well, his first mistake was casting Topher Grace.
Yeah.
That's a big mistake.
So and I felt like he only did it because the fans cry for it. He was kind of forced his hand that he had to do it. Sandman looked cool. I liked how they used amputee to do the one scene where he punches through him. I thought that was really cool, those effects. But Venom could have been done so much better. They really made him look like a pussy, to be honest with you. I don't know what better way to say it. So Tom Hardy, though, on the other hand, a great Venom. So I really hope if they work that into the MCU somehow, especially since they're stabbing the multiverse with Doctor Strange, I hope they bring that in somehow. But that's why I personally have Spider-Man 3 at the wrong. For me, they did Venom so wrong, and I think it's the worst one.
So just so we're on the topic of Spider-Man 3,
Yeah.
all right? Just in case people are wondering why I like Spider-Man 3 more than Homecoming, rather than just saying that I think it's
Yeah.
a bad Spider-Man movie.
They all are wondering at home why.
Well, I'm just thinking. All right, since we're on that topic, we're gonna clarify with Spider-Man 3 because obviously we didn't talk about it too much.
Yeah.
So the things that I think Spider-Man 3, in my opinion, got right, and keep in mind, I saw this whole thing this weekend.
Sure.
All right, including Spider-Man 3.
He was ready.
I was ready. I was like,
You were
man,
prepared.
and I went in there with an open mind.
Did you watch Homecoming and Far From Home again, too?
No, I didn't. I didn't waste my time with that.
Okay, go ahead.
So I wanted these are the movies that I'm going to be defending, obviously. So I was like, you know what, I'm going to watch this. So with Spider-Man 3, I think the message was about forgiveness. And one thing that I liked about Raimi was definitely like the messages.
How ironic, because we cannot forgive that movie for that dancing.
Well, that's fine. I mean, to me,
not the best dance.
I get it, the dancing, but I mean, there were certain moments that Raimi, even though he didn't know too much about the character, I think that he really got right. You know what I mean? As far as with just impicting Aunt May, you know what I mean? When he was trying to tell Aunt May that, hey, I Spider-Man killed the robber of that dude, and just the response that Aunt May gave was not what he was expecting. Like little scenes like that with Aunt May, even the scene where he took off the suit was directly out of the comic.
Yeah.
That was
And he
great.
did
I will
it, and
say
he did it great. Like I was just, and not only that, but let's just first of all mention Danny Elfman and the score for Spider-Man, for the Raimi.
Yes.
Like it was haunting and yet empowering at the same time. You don't get that with these new Disney movies. You get the da-na-na, da-na-na, like that. I might as well hear the ba-na-na-na-na-na-na-na, Batman.
What's wrong
I
with
might
it,
as well
dude?
just hear
What's
that.
wrong with that,
There's
though?
no
It's classic.
There's no creativity.
60s.
Hold on. There's no creativity though. All right, that score alone, that Danny Elfman score, that identifies the Raimi trilogy. Even the Zahn Zimmerman Hans Zimmer score from Amazing Spider-Man was great.
Yeah.
Especially in Amazing Spider-Man 2. I thought that was awesome.
Yeah, it's funny. That was a bright spot. One thing Sam Raimi did, he got a lot of like comic scenes directly. The getting the black suit off and it attaching to Eddie Brock was perfect in 3.
Yeah.
Spider-Man No More in 2 was perfect. I mean, it was picture perfect. But
Yeah.
yeah, maybe that's like the lone bright spot to me personally.
And yeah, so I mean, you could tell. So yeah, you can tell that Sam Raimi was like, I don't know too much about this character, but he tried in a way. I mean, he did it without understanding, but he did. I think he tried in a way. And I think the studio just got more involved in it as time went on. But
Yeah.
I mean, I got to talk about Sandman for a second. All right, I thought Sandman could have been an amazing villain, just the way he was, when him and Spider-Man were fighting, and he was slapping the feet off of them, sweeping them, and all that. I mean, that he kind of reminded me of the Terminator, the T-1000.
Yeah,
like
Robert Patrick.
Yeah, like so things like that of what he was able to do, and I think that they could have expanded more on that. But of course, Sony, I know, wanted Venom on it and was really pushing it. So that's
Do you
that's
think
why
if they had and here's what I was hoping for when they did the third one. You have the Sandman villain, and I was hoping that at the very end, you would have seen Venom born, and that's how the movie ended. And then you make a fourth one with Venom and say
absolutely
and say the Lizard, because they had been teasing Dr. Connors the whole damn time.
I know.
So that was my hope when the movie came out.
Yeah.
Do you think that would have been?
Yeah. No, I think they definitely should have waited for
You?
Venom. It should have. It definitely should have been more of a build up. They should have just kept with the same message that I know Sam Raimi was trying to imagine on screen, was forgiveness.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And if they could have easily done that without the suit. All right. Once he would depart from the suit, Spider-Man saved the day, and then have Venom come in the next movie. And I think that could have been a lot better. We would have definitely had our Spider-Man 4. Because
Okay.
Spider-Man 3 would have been a lot better.
Yep.
But
Just looking at our rankings, it's kind of clear that the worst films, in our opinion, are either Spider-Man 3 and Homecoming.
Yeah.
All at the bottom of our list.
I have it written here if you want me to read it, but go ahead.
Definitely.
mine.
And then sort of in the middle is, by the looks of this, is like Spider-Man, Amazing Spider-Man 1 or Far From Home is sort of in the middle. And then the top 3 is Spider-Verse, Spider-Man 2, and Spider-Man 1. But read them off.
Yeah,
how
using
they
a point
came in.
system. So this is
Overall
going
order.
worst to best. Spider-Man 3, then Homecoming, and then we have a tie between Amazing Spider-Man 1 and Far From Home. Then Amazing Spider-Man 2, Spider-Man 1, Into the Spider-Verse, and then the number 1 is Spider-Man 2.
Very
Tobey Maguire
nice.
Spider-Man 2. Pretty good list.
You know what we should do?
Uh-oh.
Oh boy.
Robert
is,
has an idea.
Yep.
I think I just
It's a good
yeah,
one.
I just got an idea.
We should all get together, watch
Like now.
Spider-Man 2,
Oh,
and do live commentary.
I like that idea.
I like that.
Rob, whenever he has an idea, it's usually pretty good.
It is.
It just only happens like
I
once
actually
a year.
I was gonna say we should do that, and then the guys from the Goods podcast, they do a thing called "You Don't Hate This Movie." I think we should do one for Spider-Man 3.
Shout out to the goods.
Yes.
oh shit.
And they basically watch the movie and explain why you really don't hate it.
Hey,
Because I've been wanting to do a similar one for Superman Returns because I don't think it was that bad.
Uh-oh.
So-
you know what? I could agree with that.
Yeah,
I
so
actually
I don't
like
think it was-
Superman
yes.
Returns.
Especially with, and that's
Oh, you serious? Oh, we got to talk about.
yeah.
Hey, that's for another
a good
time.
because we're gonna
That's for
talk.
another
We're
time.
gonna talk
Oh,
Crisis on
for
Infinite
another
Earths in a
time.
minute.
I
But yeah,
actually like
no.
Superman Returns.
Yeah,
What
so-
the fuck?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Lex
What?
Luthor wants to create a beachfront property using a kryptonite island. Yeah,
Yeah.
what a
my
great
God.
story we're
Oh
talking
my
about.
God.
to be
guys.
fair, Gene Hackman and Lex Luthor wanted to make beachfront property using missiles in the Christopher Reeve movies.
Yeah.
To be fair, Superman is the dumbest character ever created. The fact that he could be defeated by a rock.
Well, yeah, that could be argued too. But
Well, not Kingdom Come Superman, but okay.
Well, okay, so I'll agree to doing the commentary for that if we do one for Homecoming, because I'm gonna be
Like
honest.
a
with
you don't hate this movie kind of
Okay.
thing.
Yeah, yeah, I'll
Okay.
do that. All right. If
Okay.
We gotta
Robert's
talk to the
saying-
guys with the goods.
If Robert's
Ooh, man.
saying,
Yeah.
Robert's saying that, hey, you know what? It's not that bad. It's not that
Okay.
bad. You're just not giving it a chance.
Okay.
Then you know what? I'll do that for Homecoming.
Okay.
Well, you want to talk Crisis?
Yeah, so listen, those are our rankings. Be
Yes.
sure to let us know what your rankings are at home for your Spider-Man films. And now we're going to get into the Arrowverse news that broke today. Where did I write that down? I don't know. I wrote it down. Oh, there it is. So if
If you don't know
were
by now,
anywhere on social media today, some breaking news came out today. If you know the Batman animated series, you are well aware of this individual, Kevin Conroy, who voices Bruce Wayne as well as Batman, of course, is going to be portraying an older Bruce Wayne in the Crisis on Infinite Earths crossover event on the Arrowverse later this fall, probably sometime in November, maybe early December. But Kevin Conroy is going to be Bruce Wayne
wow.
on TV with all of the Arrowverse characters, main characters.
Dude,
Supergirl,
So I just got a thought.
Arrow.
Maybe this is a secret, but what if Mark Hamill made like a guest appearance Joker, live action Joker?
Dude.
Which is not out of the realm of possibility.
It's
He
really
actually
not.
Mark Hamill said,
he's already been on the Flash.
well, yeah, as
Really?
the jokester, or the
Trickster. He came on the Trickster in an alternate universe, an alternate Earth, and his Trickster on the alternate Earth looked a lot like the Joker.
Oh shit!
Yeah.
So it's Mark Hamill
So he's-
sounding like the Joker or looking like the Joker, but playing the Trickster.
So obviously the Joker's been portrayed in cartoons by various people. Mark Hamill has said that whenever Kevin Conroy is involved, he is 100% in to do Joker.
Nice.
and anytime Kevin's doing something, Hamill, you don't have to ask, you don't have to pull
No.
his arm or bend it
Yep,
to
it's a
get
yes
him
right
to
away.
join in.
if
as well.
they do that, do you think they would bring in Tara Strong to do a Harley Quinn?
Listen, now that
And they're bringing everybody in.
and
They
this,
got to. This is the final season
this
of Arrow.
isn't
Yeah.
this is the final season of Arrow, and this isn't the only individual they're bringing back. They've already announced Chris Williams. This is Chris Williams, who plays Black Lightning, is going to be on the event. Brandon Routh, who played Superman in Superman Returns,
And I'm theorizing he's playing that same Superman.
that would be great.
I'm theorizing he's doing that, and because this is Kingdom Come Superman, which is like 10 years in exile, it comes back. This has been 12 years since Superman Returns, and I didn't really like Kate Bosworth as Lois Lane. So if she's the Lois that's dead, and the reason why he took a hiatus, it would make perfect sense for me. But that's for him to play the exact same Superman for Superman Returns, coming back for the Crisis.
Yeah, definitely. So he's going to be making a comeback. He's going to be portraying Superman. There's a leaked photo online, but it's speculative whether or not it's fact or if
Yeah.
it's fake. Burt Ward
How about this?
from Batman 66 series. Burt Ward is supposed to make a cameo. Is he just playing a character? Is he playing an older Robin? If he's playing an older Robin, is Bruce Wayne in that universe dead?
Yes. To pretty much
Wow.
confirm that he is playing Robin and Batman is dead in that Earth. So
This is getting crazy.
Wow.
yes. Mm-hmm.
So this
DC,
is the
man.
ultimate crossover event. They pretty much said, like, listen, who's done anything in this universe? We're bringing them all in, folks.
And I don't even know if it's confirmed, but I've heard Linda Carter, they're possibly bringing her as Wonder Woman. They've pretty much got a done deal in place with Tom Welling to be Superman in this
Yes.
sort of
We're
crisis.
just waiting for it.
We're waiting
just
for
waiting
it.
for the
I'll see
announcement.
that.
And Michael Rosenbaum has to make an appearance of Tom
Yeah.
Welling. You know he's not going to be far behind.
That's
So
right.
Let's hope. But
This is going to be a major
maybe
event.
Super Lana.
They're
Dude, Lana, bro.
Hey, bro.
as
Huh,
those
what
comic-
about what's your name?
Erica Durance.
No.
Lois Lane.
Allison
Mack?
Yeah,
I
what
don't-
about her,
I don't
dude?
think, dude.
Oh, hey, dude.
No, I don't think that's happening,
She's
bro.
dealing with
Hey,
some stuff.
Hey, bro.
Well, that's interesting.
busy
You say
right now.
that. There's a reason why they never brought back Pete Ross for the last season of Smallville, because the character Sam, I forget, Sam Jones III, right?
Sure.
The character that played him was actually in jail while they were filming because he was doing legal stuff. So they
Oh, wow.
wanted to bring his character back, but he was actually in jail, couldn't get out to film it. So
Dun, dun,
for the
dun.
last season of Smallville, they couldn't bring him back. Little fun fact for you guys.
Well, you never know, dude.
Yeah.
Listen, so that's
Mhm.
that's the news. Pretty much, this TV event is going to be bigger than anything that DC's probably ever done on TV. I think
Yeah.
because you're bringing different series, different universes from all these characters, and you're bringing them all together. It's all connected, but across multiple universes, and they've been hinting at this for a long, long time. And not to mention, last year's crossover event hinted that
Elseworlds.
Green Lantern, that
Yes. Stewart?
John Diggle is
Diggle.
actually a GL, Green Lantern, on another Earth, Earth 99 or whatever it was. And this season on Arrow, they've had friend of the show, Ernie Hudson, portraying John Diggle's father, and Ernie Hudson's last name is Stewart. He didn't know that, but so
Nice.
it's actually John Stewart on this Earth, or on another Earth, and they've been teasing and playing with that like all season long on last season's Arrow. So this is huge. This is massive.
And interesting enough about Kevin Conroy, the reason they could never get Bruce Wayne or Batman on the Smallville series is because NBC owned the rights to the Batman character.
There you go.
So I'm wondering how that affects now. I mean, obviously it'll be Bruce Wayne. They've done Gotham already, but
You know, if they don't have him in a cape and cowl, is it really going to diminish what they're trying to do? In
I
your
don't think
opinion?
so. I mean, at his age, you wouldn't expect him to still be
just
Batman.
having an older Bruce Wayne there I think is going to be enough to fill that
Who
fan.
sounds like Bruce Wayne?
So does
Right.
that mean Batman Beyond is also going to be appearing?
Oh my gosh!
Terry McGinnis.
You're not gonna get the guy to do it though. What's his name?
Forget his
The
name.
guy from Boy Meets World,
Oh,
the older brother.
Yeah.
Sorry, I apologize.
Roderick Strong? No.
No,
Roderick
that's
Strong.
No,
that's
not
Sean.
Ryder Strong.
That's Sean.
But the older brother from
Will
Boy Meets-
Friedle.
Will
Friedle. There we go. Thank you.
If you got him to play Terry McGinnis, oh dear
Jeez.
God.
Yeah, I don't know.
Why?
He did the
voiced him
voice
on the
for
cartoon.
Terry
Yeah,
McGinnis.
voice
Why
cartoon.
wouldn't he do it?
I don't know.
It's just, is that too far? Is that too far to
They
bring
would
in?
they would have to get a
I mean,
young
is he
looking
doing
guy.
He's probably doing something right now, but I don't know what he's doing.
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
I mean, what major project he's
Do you know what? Do you know what? Will Friedle on his Twitter page many months ago
Said something about it, right?
He
Yeah.
teased that things were happening one day, that something was going to happen one day, because people were throwing out that whole Michael Keaton as older Bruce Wayne
Yeah.
film with
What if
Batman
it's Kevin
Beyond.
Conroy?
What if? Well, what if Will Friedle was actually not teasing a film, but what if he was teasing a cameo in the Crisis on Infinite Earths as
wow.
Terry McGinnis?
That'd be awesome.
I mean, there's just they're throwing in every idea, and I'm not disliking any of it.
Nope, not at all.
That's cool.
So, give us your thoughts on the breaking news about Kevin Conroy joining the Arrowverse, or John Diggle being the Green Lantern as John Stewart, or any of the other individuals, Brandon Routh or Burt Ward, being on the event. We want to hear from you what your thoughts are. We cannot wait for this to happen. Arrow has 10 episodes left, I believe. Is that right?
And it's going to be a short season.
Yes,
short season,
that's the
and
final
it's
season.
last season,
I'm assuming it's going to end with the crossover.
which is kind of saying a lot.
yeah.
Yeah.
You know, it might not get a second half at all. Arrow might just, right after the. Actually,
I think they
take it back.
confirmed that.
I take
They've
it
already
back.
confirmed that it's just a short season. So
They did confirm it's only 10 episodes, but they said, I think, that the Crisis on Infinite Earths event, the crossover event, was going to be episode 8.
Oh,
and I
okay.
think they were either going to do 2 more episodes after that, or just 1 episode after that. They wanted to end Arrow on its own terms, not end it with the crossover event.
Do you think Arrow dies at the end?
I do, because they were hinting at that, but when they're being so obvious about something, they're probably not going to do that.
See, and I thought the crossover would be the final episode and he dies at the end of Crisis, but we'll see.
Makes sense, but I
Yeah.
think it's
Yeah,
too obvious.
because what was that dude's name? Like the Traveler or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
he told what's her face, that
What's your face?
he doesn't come back.
True.
Right. So
I forget. Canary?
But
No.
if there's something
no,
that
his
we,
wife.
I don't
Felicity.
Felicity. Yeah. He told her like he doesn't come back. So
If there's anything we know about comic book stories and destiny or fate, it can always be changed.
sure.
So,
Sure.
that is this episode. We finally took our Spidey debate and we held it, and it was great. And there was fights, and there was yelling, and there was
Yep.
beer throwing, and everything. And we want to hear from you. Who do you think won this Spidey debate? Go to our social media page. Vote on our poll. Is it Eliud with Tobey Maguire, or is it Rob with Tom Holland? Let us know. And also, give us your own comments. Who's your favorite Spider-Man? Send us your rankings and give us your comments on the crossover event. We want to hear from you. We're probably going to talk EVO next week.
We'll talk Evo because, man, what a weekend. A lot of reveals, and the Smash Brothers top 8's going on right now. So we'll have to see while we're recording this. So we'll see who wins that. But a lot of really great reveals, especially for my favorite game right now, Samurai Showdown. But we'll talk about that
We'll
next
talk
week.
about that.
Yes. And I think before we end this, can we all agree on one thing? If they did a live action Into the Spider-Verse, we would all love that. Can we
Love
all say
it.
that?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
Soon.
Maybe soon. We'll see. Hopefully. One day.
For the countdown to the Geekcast, my name is Steady. With me on the Spidey debate episode is the man, the myth, the legend, JC.
Thanks for watching and listening. We'll see you next time.
And fighting in Tobey Maguire's corner, we got Eliud.
All right, guys. We'll see you on the next review.
Eliud, Spider-Man 99. What is it?
Oh yeah, LU 99 or 2099.
2099.
Eliud 2099.
LU 2099.
And representing Tom Holland, and not Homecoming, but Far From Home, it's Rob.
Gentlemen, I would like to say thank you one more time for hosting us this great debate. Eliud.
And we're out. Have a good
Laters.
night.
Hey guys, AJ Nyland here. For more Geekcast episodes, subscribe to us on iTunes or your smart device podcast app. And please, write us a review. Be sure to like us on Facebook at facebook.com/Countdown City Geekcast. Follow us on Twitter at ccg_podcast or visit our website at www.countdowncitygeekcast.com. See you later, guys.